But right now, our guest is the author of Microsoft Outlook for Dummies and an all-around swell Windows expert, far from a dummy. Bill Deisel joins us via satellite from New York, New York. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Leo. How you doing today?
I am doing great, and I'm really intrigued by the description of what you're going to show us today.
Well, yeah, drag and drop, it sounds simple, and, well, it is simple. It's pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of pretty powerful stuff you can do in Outlook by doing a little drag and drop now and then.
Drag and drop is a neat idea anyway, but the idea that you could drag something to a target, to somewhere else, and apply that action to what you dragged is very, very powerful and very intuitive.
That's right. Yeah, the thing about Outlook is that everything basically is an email message, really. It's thinking of everything as a separate item. But when you drag something from one Outlook module to a different one, it automatically transforms the information into something that's useful in the new environment.
I have my Outlook open here. This is Outlook 2000. Will this work in Outlook 2000?
Oh, yeah, it works in all versions of Outlook.
All versions, okay. You may have the new XP or Outlook 98. This will work too. All right.
That's right. This has been common to Outlook the whole time.
Give me an example.
Okay, the simplest and most straightforward thing is creating a new email message from a contact record.
So I'm going to go to my contacts, and I created one for me, you know, my email address right here.
Right, exactly. So if you simply drag your record over to the inbox and drop it off,
what will happen? It's going to make, oh look, it addresses a message to me.
That's right.
And I can just say hi,
to you. And
hello, and there we go. That was that easy.
That's right.
Drag and drop a message, and it's going to send that out.
That's right.
Very cool.
As long as there's an email address in the record, it'll automatically do that.
All right.
Now, what gets interesting is when you do the reverse, when you take an email message and drag it to the contact module. I don't know if you have any messages with anything interesting.
Should I try that?
Yeah, why don't you pull a message and drag it over to the contacts
module. All right.
module.
This is from Apache User, one of my favorite correspondents. And I'm just dragging it over. So I drag it over to the contacts thing. You have to have the Outlook bar open to do this.
That's right.
And I don't normally use the Outlook bar. Oh, look, it created, there's his name, and there's the email address and everything.
Exactly. And I don't know if you can see my computer here.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know if you can put that on.
There it is. There's your computer.
Okay. Okay, I have a slightly different version of this. I'm going to drag this message over to contacts. And this message also, you'll notice when the message comes over, it brings the body of the email message into this contact record.
Ah.
You see that? Now, this person happens to have sent me address information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it. I'm going to drag it up to the address box and drop it off.
Oh, look at that.
So I can populate this contact record by simply dragging stuff up out of the note field. And you notice it already parsed it out. It should have figured it out. Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, I didn't get this from Chris Perillo, so it does work.
Last time I ever take a tip from him. So that's handy because a lot of times people put in their signature, they'll put contact information. You can just drag it into their contact.
That's right. And in fact, anything that's here, you can typically drag up. I'm going to take the phone number and I'll put it in a phone number field, all that stuff.
That is so handy.
The whole thing. It's a fast way to populate your contacts.
I wish I'd known that. I spent so much time, you know, cutting and pasting, and I could have just done it this way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a big time saver and a big accuracy improver because you don't have to retype.
Absolutely. All right, show me some more.
Yeah.
Let's do some more dragging.
One other thing that I think is very worth knowing, and it's a way that you can explore this feature yourself, is if you right drag items. So, for example, if you right drag oh yeah, I'll do that first. If you right drag an item to a new module, this is just like in the rest of Windows. When you drop it off, it gives you a little shortcut menu that tells you what it's about to do.
Now we can't see it up close, so you're going to have to read that to us. What is it?
Okay, I'm going to say, for example, I dragged something over to I dragged a message over to the contact list, and it says copy here as a contact with text, copy as a shortcut, copy with as an attachment. Where it's particularly useful is if I do a contact to the email. I'm going to do this. I'm going to drag your record over to inbox. It's going to ask me, for example, if I want to send a V-card.
Ah.
Or if I want to send, you know, if I want to put this in the body, or if I want to send it as a V-card.
Tell us what a V-card is.
A V-card is a little file that has somebody's address in it that is usable in a variety of different applications.
It's basically sort of kind of a digital business card.
That's exactly it. It's a universal form of the digital business card.
Very cool.
Exactly.
So when you're dragging, you can just left-click and it will take the default. But if you right-click, you'll see a menu of other options that you can do with it.
That's right. It's just like in Windows. In Windows, you get the same effect.
Right. Very cool.
So yeah.
So now I guess I should just try some things. Could I say drag a message? What happens if I drag a message to the to-do list? Does it do that? Does it make a to-do? It does.
It does. Yeah. I mean, the fact is that you can drag anything around in Outlook to any other module. Only a few of those actions do anything useful.
Right.
but they all do something. They all do a little bit of something. So you just don't know. You got to test it out and see if there's something useful. Actually, one other thing, if you have a minute, that I think is really useful, is if you take, again, an email message, and you drag it over to your calendar.
I'm going to do that right now. All right.
Okay, and I've got one here I'm dragging also. Once again, this will drag the body of the message into an appointment.
Very nice.
Now, the reason this is useful also is if you use a PDA,
Yeah.
all the information about that appointment is going to wind up in your PDA.
Is in the PDA, that's right.
That's right. So if you're going to the appointment, you can find out driving directions or information about the appointment
Or
itself.
if you get an email itinerary for your flight or whatever, you could drag that to your calendar. Oh, that's great.
Exactly.
That's very. Now, it doesn't parse it, doesn't look and see where there's appointment information in the body of the message. It's up to you to do that.
No, it's not smart enough to do that.
Right. But that's still a lot faster than having to cut and paste bit by bit.
Oh, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So take your messages and drag them different places and see what happens. They can
That's
go
right. Do the drag and drop.
all these different places. Notes, same thing. You can create a note automatically with message information in it. That's
right.
very good. Hey, thank you so much, Bill. Really love that. And I imagine all of these tips and more are in your book, right?
Oh, yes, they are. Absolutely.
And that would be an opportunity for you to say, yes, Leo, Outlook 2000
That's right.
for Windows for
book.
Dummies.
That's right. Available in stores everywhere.
There you go. I'm working on it. Bill, you're way too modest. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Leo. My pleasure.
Always fun to have you on the show. Bill Deisel. If you want to go over those tips again, we also have them on our website at thescreensavers.com, and Bill has put together everything you just saw step by step. But I guess you get the idea. Drag and drop and see what happens.